Why would anyone ask me to cut my calories if I'm trying to lose weight? I'm clearly not going to listen to this person, right? Wrong. Okay, I am Dr. Tamara Richards, and in today's episode, I'm going to be talking about reverse dieting and under eating and how to actually use it to help you lose weight and not gain weight and to improve your overall health. So let's go ahead and let's get started, okay? So I want to break down why under eating is even a problem, because unfortunately, as you will hear me say time and time again, diet culture has done a horrible job with making us think that we need to be on a 1,000-calorie diet in order to lose weight. So what is the problem with cutting my calories too low? I'm glad you asked. The problem with cutting your calories too low, when I say too low, I mean specifically below your BMR, which is your basal metabolic rate. When you begin to slash calories below your BMR, of course, you put yourself in a caloric deficit, so you will lose weight. However, over time, your body begins to kind of be up on game and say, okay, this is going on for far too long, and at this point, I'm starting to go into a state of starvation, because your basal metabolic rate is the basic amount of energy that or calories that your body needs to survive. And so when that is not met, your body goes into a state of starvation, which means instead of your body burning calories, it begins to hold on to everything that you eat, okay? As a result of this, your body is then going to signal hormones that are responsible for weight loss, and your metabolism is say, pump the brakes, hold on. I need you to slow down, okay? Because I don't need you burning these calories. I need to hold on to these calories so that I can survive, that I can keep her body running, okay? And so as you slash calories and you don't provide your body with enough energy, it then lowers your metabolism, which means less calories are burned, less fat is burnt, and then over time what happens is you hit a weight plateau. You affect your calories. Your thyroid hormones take a nosedive down, and in some cases you can actually start to gain weight, okay? So this is the problem with cutting your calories way too low. When I say low, I mean less than 1,000 and 1,200 calories. And I have met clients that have come to me on 700, 900 calorie diets, and we're completely desperate. Like, I don't know where to go from here, because at this point I'm starving and I'm gaining weight and nothing's happening, okay? Now what I want you to do is I want you to check your BMR, okay? There are a ton of calculators out there. Check your BMR and make sure that you are not eating below your BMR, because if you are eating below your BMR, you are not providing your body with the energy that it needs. And although you may be losing weight right now, there is going to come a point in time where your body is going to say, sis, I have had enough, and I'm going to start holding on to these calories. And that's when you're going to have problems with your hormones and trying to lose weight. So it's very important that you take the time to find out what your BMR is, look at how many calories you're eating, and making sure that you are eating at least above your BMR, okay? Now, if you check this and you say, oh, Dr. Tamara, I'm in trouble, girl. I am eating below my BMR. I have hit a weight plateau, or I'm not seeing the results I was seeing before. It's okay. Let's talk about what a reverse diet is. A reverse diet is an intentional increase in your calories over time to slowly provide fuel to your fire. And when I say your fire, that's your metabolism and your hormones that regulate your weight loss hormones and your metabolic hormones to help you burn calories, okay? So as you slowly and intentionally, I'm not talking about eating a bunch of calories at once, but slowly and intentionally increasing your calories over a given period of time to give your body the energy that it needs. And as you begin to feed your body, it's like adding fuel to the fire. It starts to crank up that fire, crank up that metabolism again, and you will then begin to lose weight and to burn fat, burn calories again, because you're making your body happy. It's not feeling like it's in starvation, and it's able to use the energy that it needs to survive. And then it's like, okay, well, you've given a little bit to me, I'm gonna give you what you want, and now I'm gonna let you go ahead and burn these excess calories, okay? So you give a little to get a little when it comes to your metabolism and your body. So you have to feed your body the energy that it needs, okay? Now, I wanna know, have you done a 1,200 calorie diet? I've done it. So no shame here. I've done a 1,200 calorie diet, and I could tell you I stopped it because I was hungry, okay? Me and my husband was hungry and we were starving, and we said enough is enough. And that's kind of how I started on my meal prep journey of learning how to meal prep, okay? So let me know in the comments. Let me know if you've ever done a 1,200 calorie diet, and if you actually started to gain weight or hit a weight plateau. I would love to hear it in the comments, okay? So the best way to prevent yourself from undereating is you need to know what your BMR and your TDEE is. Remember, your BMR is your basal metabolic rate, which is the amount of calories that your body needs to survive from day to day. Your TDEE is the amount of calories that your body needs to maintain your current body weight, and that takes into account your BMR plus the amount of calories that you use to do activities, whether that's walking up and down the stairs, walking into work, running outside, whatever activities that you do on a consistent basis. That is what your TDEE is. That's the calories that you need to maintain your current weight. Now, once you are aware of that, okay, you then want to find a sweet spot between your BMR and your TDEE so that you can put yourself into a safe zone of a caloric deficit. When you start going way too low, that too fast especially, that's when you start putting your body into starvation, start impacting your hormones. And we already know as women, our hormones are already on a roller coaster ride every 28 days, okay? So adding more fuel to that fire is a recipe for disaster, right? So it's best to just find like a sweet spot between your BMR and your TDEE so that you can lose weight without impacting your health and your hormones, okay? And most of all, your metabolism. The other way of preventing undereating is to be sure that you're eating at least 3 whole meals, well-balanced meals a day, okay? If you can eat 3 well-balanced meals and specifically track the calories and macros associated with it, it's one of the easiest ways to ensure that you're not undereating because you're aware of what you're eating. And if you're eating 3 meals, you're probably getting a good amount of calories that will keep you above at least your BMR. Also, please don't skip meals. Skipping meals mean less calories, which then means you're putting yourself more at risk of reducing your metabolism, burning less fat and calories, and then potentially undereating, okay? So don't skip meals. Try to be intentional with your meals, making sure that they're well portioned, they have a good quality and quantity, because this is the other thing. This doesn't have to really deal with undereating per se, but if you are undereating, okay, and you're eating poor quality foods on top of it, it is a double whammy recipe for disaster, not only for your hormones, but for your health, okay? Because this is a common misconception. People feel like because they're eating McDonald's and Chick-fil-A for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, that the first thing they have to do when they gotta lose weight, they have to cut calories. A lot of times, even with eating McDonald's and Chick-fil-A, some people may get, enough food that actually falls below their BMR. So even though it is poor quality food, the solution to correcting your weight loss problems is not cutting your calories. It's looking at what your calories are with the McDonald's and the Chick-fil-A, making sure that it's at your BMR or above it, okay? And if it is, then you cut your calories. But if it isn't, you actually have to do a reverse. And then on top of that, because it's not the best quality of food, you then increase your risk of not just affecting your hormones, but then increasing your risk of chronic disease, okay? So tracking your food, being intentional with your food, making sure that at least you know what your BMR is. And then if you really want to truly lose weight, find that sweet spot between your BMR and your TDEE to create that caloric deficit. And that is how you reduce your risk of undereating, impacting your hormones, and you can truly, really thrive and lose weight the way you intend to do so. Now, if you know that you are in need of direction of reverse dieting, assessing your calories, assessing your nutrition, go ahead and click the link below and apply to work with me. That is what I do inside of my Blood, Sweat, and Macros group coaching program. I personally look at your logins, what you tell me you eat, and I tell you exactly where your calories are. I then tell you what your BMR and TDEE is, and then I would tell you, okay, sis, based off of your lifestyle, your schedule, your taste buds, this is what I think we should be doing over the next 6 to 8 weeks, okay? So if you know that this is something that you are struggling with and you know that you need assistance in this area, I would love to help you. Go ahead and click the link in my bio so that I can truly help you create the change without jeopardizing your taste buds, without jeopardizing your lifestyle. I would love to help you identify those problems and give you a solution that is right for you. Now, don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Virtuous Bodies. You can find me running all over Tampa, taking these kids to gymnastics and swimming everywhere else, being a busy pharmacist, wife, mom, and health coach, and cooking up recipes for my Plant East membership that my kids and my husband try. They are kid and hubby friendly, okay? So go ahead and check me out on Instagram. Shoot me a DM, say, hey girl, I'm from YouTube. I would love to hear from you. If you have not already, please subscribe to my channel and comment below and let me know how this episode has been a blessing to you. I will check in with you guys later. Take care.